Hello, welcome to any community. From the past several videos, we are discussing about the Sapeksha Nidana. Now, in the beginning, we have discussed about the concept of Sapeksha Nidana and Vyavachedaka Nidana. After that, we have started with the description of different models. Initially, we have started with the discussion of a hypothetico-deductive model of Sapeksha Nidana, and we have discussed with one example of a hypothetical deductive model. Later, we have started with the discussion on pattern identification model. Today, we are going to understand the pattern identification model with an example. When we speak from the example of pattern identification model, first of all, we need to know about what pattern refers to. The term pattern refers to the repeatedly occurring variables which lead to different effects. Either it may be a physical effect, or that it may be psychological effect, or emotional effect, or social change or spiritual changes can be observed. For example, when the person is going to take Ruksha Ahara, initially the effect will be seen in the Mahasrotas only. Later we are going to see the effect on the Shakha level, maybe in the Rasadhatu level, etc. So that means whenever the person is going to take, what you say that the Rajas Sevana, so the initial effect will be seen in the Nasa only. Or otherwise, if it is entering into the eyes, initial effect will be seen in the eyes. So that means whenever the repeatedly occurring these different aspects, repeatedly if the person is going to have the dust exposure, naturally that is specifically seen in the form of sneezing or cough. So whenever if you want to try to identify the patterns, we have to observe the events keenly. So that means here we have to ask with the patient regarding the history. What is the presenting complaint? When this particular complaint is specifically seen. For example, if the person is developing cough, whenever he is moving towards the rainy season, or whenever he is taking the ice cream, he will be developing cough in the sense. So that means here the pattern is ice cream intake leading to the cough as such. Here, these are different examples how we are going to look into the patterns as such. So here the one example A B A B A B A B. So after that two dash are there. That means that will be A B A B A B A B. The last one will be A, where the green the blue circle is there. At that particular time, the point is the A will be observed there. This next aspect, BDC, BDC, BDC. The next, the event will be B. This is what we can say the repeatedly occurring variables. As we have discussed earlier, exposure to dust. Sneezing will be there, then cough will be there. So that means, so this is what we can say whenever there is exposure to dust, he will be having the sneezing and cough. This is what we can say the pattern identification. One example, let me say, exercise. Whenever if you look into that, here in this particular picture, the person is doing the running. Of course, all the body parts are involved, but maximum part that will be involved in this particular occasion is specifically lower limb. So that means normally the more amount of the blood supply will be occurring in the body, that to the body of the lower limb, specifically to rasa, rakta, mamsa, asthi, majja of the lower limb. There will be excessive amount of the blood supply may be there. Whenever if you think about the resting conditions, the blood supply to the periphery, so that is to the capillaries will be once or twice per minute only. But the blood supply to the aorta will be 70 to 80 times per minute will be there. So in case of the excessive amount of the exercise, this particular excessive movement of the blood to the skeletal muscles, etc., that may increase to 20 or 30 fold more. So that means the more blood supply will be towards the area where excessive metabolism is taking place. So that means whenever if you think about it, as per the present Ayurveda understanding, so the rasa, rakta, mamsa, asthi, majja of the lower limb that will be afflicted if there is excessive exercise, specifically running is being done. Let us say if the person is having the more amount of the what do you say that the action related to boxing, etc. In that particular situation, more blood supply will be there to the upper limb only, not to the lower limb. So that means the muscles of the lower limb and the joints of the lower limb that will be receiving the excessive blood supply when the person is doing the running. So that means mamsa, meda, asthi, majja of the lower limb will be afflicted. When you think about the in terms of the understanding from the Ayurveda point of view, so whenever the vyayama is being done, the pranavasrotas that will be afflicted. How we are going to say pranavasrotas is being afflicted? It is being mentioned in the textbook. Dharana Ruksha Ahara Kshuditasya cha. So that means whenever a person is having the affliction of the pranavasrotas, in the sense, whenever a person is doing the exercise in case of fasting, okay, in case of the fasting, if there is pranavasrotas, what is the relation there? Whenever a person is doing the fasting, there will be rapid, what do you say, that the depletion of the nutrients. That means initially it will be carbohydrate depletion, which will be followed by fat depletion. So that means the stored fat will be converted into circulating fat. That means the person will be having the metabolic acidosis. Along with that, the muscle metabolism also takes place. That means there will be lactic acidosis also will be there. So that means ketoacidosis as well as lactic acidosis together is termed as metabolic acidosis. This feature will be observed. And this is a earlier or precursor of the, what do you say, that respiratory alkalosis. So that means in that way, the person will be developing the, what do you say, that respiratory symptoms may be present. In that way, the vyayama may be responsible for, what do you say, that respiratory afflictions, pranava srotas affliction. When you think about the astivaha srotas affliction, so that means vyayama dati sankshobat astanamati vighattana. So that means they, if the person is doing the vyayama, here they no specific in the mentioning of doing the vyayama, whether is it in the starvation or whether it is in the full stomach, there is no specific mentioning as far as the Charaka Samhita is concerned. So that means the Asti Vahasrotas in the sense, so there will be a possibility of Asti or Sandhi may be afflicted whenever a person is doing the running, etc. So in that particular sense, there will be increased amount of the blood supply will be there towards that, what do you say, that the Asti Vahasrotas, and there may be a possibility of friction will be there in between the Asti. That's how excessive Vyayama, excessive running, more than one's capacity may afflict Asti. and regarding the how this Majja Mahasrotas will be afflicted. Whenever if you think about the Asti Mahasrotas as such, Asti Srotas and Sandhi, Asti and Sandhi are considered to be the Srotamula of Majjavaha Srotas. In that way, excessive Vyayama may have an impact on the affliction of Majjavaha Srotas also. When you think about the Svedavaha Srotas, that is Vyayama Datisantapat Astana Athivighattanat, that is specifically if the person is doing the Vyayama, in case of the what you say that the the bright sunlight, etc., the person may have the excessive sweating formation. In that way, the Svedavaha Srotas may be afflicted. As far as Raktavaha Srotas affliction is concerned, that is the Bhajatam cha Atapanalau. So that is specifically if the person is doing the activities more than one's capacity in the broad sunlight, specifically in the summer season, definitely there may be a possibility of a Raktavaha Srotas affliction because of a excessive, what do you say, that the formation of heat. In this way, so we are going to identify the, what do you say, that the effect of a simple Vyayama and its impact on the different Srotas can be made out. Or otherwise, let us take the one more example also. For example, if the person is having the Adhyashana, so that means the person may be having the affliction of a Annavaha Srotas or Pranavaha Srotas, or the person may have the Guru Ahara, that means Rasavaha Srotas will be afflicted. Abhishyandi Bhojana, Mamsavaha Srotas or Majjavaha Srotas may be afflicted. In that way, the simple Adhyashana may have an impact on different Srotas affliction, depending upon the nature of one's Nidana Sevana. Take home messages from today's discussion. Whenever if you are doing the interrogation and whenever if you are doing the physical examination, one has to one has to try to identify the pattern of abnormalities. These are the different examples where we can able to link this particular pattern of pattern identification as such. For example, pain in the epigastric region, radiating towards the neck, and which is of burning character, observed after the intake of spicy substances such as gobi Manchurian, etc. Specifically suggestive of the person is suffering from pitta dominant disease, or the person may be suffering from hyperacidity syndrome. Let us say pain in the left knee joint, that too which is worsening after walking for longer amount of time. So that means there may be a possibility of friction may be taking place between that particular left knee joint as such. That means the bones, the which are having the formation rejoint, there may be a possibility of a degeneration can be thought of. Pain, which is radiating from right loin to right groin, that too it worsens on jumping, etc., which is indicative of the renal system affliction. That too, it may be a possibility of a renal calculi. Systolic murmur observed in the aortic region. Aortic region in the sense the second intercostal space, right sternal border, that is the area of a aortic valve. If you are getting the systolic murmur at that particular region very prominently, it is indicative of aortic stenosis as such. Clonus observed in the lower limb while dorsiflexing the foot, the person may be having the upper motor neuron lesion. The presence of chardi frequently may indicate Annavaha Srotas affliction. Ananna Bilashanam Arochaka Vipakau Chardim Cha Drishtva. Jwara, Whenever a person is suffering from the jvara, so that is santapa, deha santapa and manah santapa, then we are going to say there may be a possibility of a rasamaha sroto dushti. There may be a possibility of jvara. There may be a possibility of pitta dosha dominance. Antrakujana, that is gurgling sound observed in the abdomen, may be suggestive of a udavarta, which may be an outcome of a apanavata vikriti, which in turn lead to the abnormality of samanavata vikriti, later which may lead to pranavata vikriti. So atidrava mala pravritti, frequently observed, may be seen in the patient who is suffering from atisara. In this way, whenever if you are seeing about the presenting complaint, try to identify the patterns. That's all for today. Dear ANA community, what are the major key takeaways from today's discussion? Mention in the comment box below. And what is the one video that you would like to hear in this particular channel? Mention in the comment box below. And spread this particular video to maximum number of true Ayurveda learners so that we can make a huge movement out of this particular small message. That's all for today. Something more in the next video. Thank you.